Welcome to the best betting show ever. I'm Lawrence Presman. Let's all make some money together. We got two NBA games going tonight. Orlando, Philadelphia, Golden State, and the Clippers. We got a full slate of baseball, a ton of hockey. Art DeCesar and Joe Ranieri joining us. Let's get to it. Art, let's start right off the bat. How did the books do last night? Two unbelievably gripping, dramatic basketball games, both coming down to the wire. Did it go well?
Yeah, it did. It was a small winning day for us. You know, the Yankees get blown out. Dodgers don't cover the run line. So you throw those into the mix as well. That's always going to help your bottom line when it comes to, booking this action. The Dodgers seem to win a lot of games, but they seem to win a lot of games by one run. You know, we had mentioned there was a lot of Hornet money yesterday. Obviously, they won the game, but did not cover. And then you get the late game where the favorite doesn't even win outright. So you're going to get a lot of those parlays with the money line for the Suns knocked out. So all in all, a good day.
Joe?
Yeah. Well, we talked about it too, right? These playing games have been notorious to the under, and you get two games last night. I mean, Portland, I think, shot 47 threes in the game. They only took 80 some odd shots, and more than half of them were from three. Three is more than two, and they were better than Phoenix was, but it's going to be interesting to see if that trend continues here through Friday, because I don't know, are the books thinking about maybe changing some numbers? Because those were two easy overs last night.
Yeah, they were. I mean, even just looking at
The first one was
it was 114 apiece, tied going in overtime. It was sweat free to the over.
So technically, it went under because it was 230, and the game ended at 228, and then we got overtime to take it over. So let's not call it an easy over.
What are you talking about? It was 226 and a half it closed. It got under money, Art, late yesterday. Did it not? The Miami-Charlotte game?
Yeah, it did. I mean, it's one of those games where, we always talk about, are they faking things up? Are they pushing numbers up? And yeah, I mean, clearly that game got pushed up.
Woo!
Just so they could bet it back to the under.
We left it was 230. So then it was bet down to 226.
226 and a half it closed at.
And still, even at 226 and a half, let's not call it an easy over. I won that game. That was my 4% play for my clients. We had over 100 sales. Thank you guys for your trust and loyalty. It was not an easy over, but sorry.
Piece of cake. A piece of cake. Well, how much did you sweat out in the overtime?
0.
Thank you. So it was an easy over.
Guys, put up in the comment section, do you think it was an easy over or not?
Easy over.
But yes, it was a beautiful, beautiful ending.
Easy over.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, Art, baseball, hockey, how did you do yesterday in baseball and hockey? And man, I told everybody yesterday, bet all the overs. I don't think one game went over.
Well, you did see there was a lot of crazy line movement in these hockey games.
Yeah.
Games were moving, 60, 80, full, 90 cents. I mean, they were moving. So, it's tough to bet. We talked about yesterday, there's really not much up for grabs here in these games. A couple of positions might move. A division's still up in the air. But, man, it's tough to bet these last 2 days because of all the line movement. I mean, you're even seeing that today. I mean, I think the Rangers, they've taken a lot of money. Who else took a lot of money where you've seen line movement? Red Wings taking a lot of money. So you've seen some real line movement in those two games. So it's tough with these last 2 days.
Well, I'll tell you sorry,
how many
Joe,
goals did the Blues score in like a 3-minute period? It was they scored 5 straight in one period to beat Pittsburgh. Did they not? Yeah, it was out of control. Like, where did that come from? 5 straight goals in under 20 minutes. Woo.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Well, I guess one of the games did go over.
Yeah.
My client play one. I told you guys to bet Utah. I told you on Puck Time. I told you here. I gave it out as a 3% play. And I'm going to give out another client play in our parlay of the day that I really love. But I'll tell you the game that fascinates me, Art, and that is Toronto-Ottawa. And the reason is, how do you bet this game? You got Ottawa, who's been on a playoff chase for 2 months, playing outstanding hockey at a high level of intensity. Teams don't keep that up. We saw it, with all the teams that didn't make the playoffs. It just shot the bed when it all was said and done, like Winnipeg last night. Ottawa's playing nobody tonight, and they don't care about winning this game. Toronto needs to lose this game to remain in that draft discussion. This game, there's no way you're taking money on this game, right? And yet the line moved from 160 to 195.
Well, yeah, it's like anything with these games. Like I said, people are just waiting for Saturday, man. They want this playoff hockey to start.
Yeah.
They realize that, it's like I said, it's hard to bet these games when they're moving that aggressively. Prez, I got one thing for you NHL wise. We had talked about, obviously we took some wild money yesterday for the series price. We took a little bit of Flyers money yesterday at plus 125 against the Penguins. Only moved 5 cents, but we had opened the Penguins minus 145 in that series. It's now minus 140. So initially, both series that have seen money have been on the dog, whether that be the Wild or the Flyers.
Yeah, I mean, my initial reaction right off the bat is I would not touch the Minnesota-Dallas series. I don't know how you can find value there. I understand that Minnesota is a loaded team, but so is Dallas. And not only that, Dallas is a veteran team. As far as Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, I find no value on Philadelphia whatsoever here. I would be shocked if Philadelphia wins this series, frankly. But, I guess there's some guys that seem to know better than me.
Did the Kings win last night or no?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
No, they lost.
Ouch.
Yeah, they lost.
Ouch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, it happens.
Yeah. Pittsburgh right now, you can get a minus 140 all the way to minus 154. So, yeah, we've got some other Montreal, Tampa Bay. Do you have lines on that? Boston, Buffalo, Ottawa, Carolina. What's the Ottawa, Carolina line?
We have lines on all those series. It's just we haven't really seen any action yet. That's why I just mentioned those first two series. And I'm with you, Prez. I think the Wild Stars, I think the reason for us, and we're actually Wild minus 105 now, the reason I think people took the Wild is because they feel like it's a toss-up series. And if you're going to give me a team getting plus money where it basically should, be a pick-em series, I think that's why we saw the money we did on the Wild early. What series are you looking for, Prez?
What's that Carolina-Ottawa series?
We got Carolina minus 165, take back on Ottawa plus 145.
And Pittsburgh's 150 over Philly?
We got Pittsburgh minus 140 because we took a little bit of Flyer money.
Yeah.
Wow, that's just Flyer fans who have been dormant for... Like, let's go Flyers. Here's the money. That used to be a hell of a rivalry, but I'm not sure how much juice it still has.
Yeah, Montreal, Tampa Bay. What do you got going there? What's the line?
Oof.
Tampa minus 280. Take back on Montreal 240.
Yeah, give me some Montreal, please. Buffalo, Boston.
Sabres minus 170. Take back on Boston plus 150.
Wow.
That's a solid line. I mean, I like Buffalo here, but I don't think there's value. Right off the bat, though, Art, I mean, Tampa Bay cannot be favored that much against Montreal. That's a wild line to me.
In Tampa, right? Tampa's got that's the first.
Yeah, Tampa's got home ice. Yeah, I mean, you could make the case that a lot of people weren't talking about how great Montreal played down the stretch. So, yeah, I'm with you, Prez. You almost get 2-1 on that. That's worth taking a shot.
But not only that, Tampa Bay's old, man. I mean, no matter how you slice
injuries,
it, this team is old, injured, old, slow-moving. Montreal's a fast team. And, man, there's still a core that made the Stanley Cup run during COVID that is still on that team.
Still got to beat Vasilevsky in Tampa.
No,
I don't care how old he is. You know what I mean? That's what it's going to come down to. Can you beat him in Tampa?
Yep. But it's not like Vasilevsky's been lights out for the last 3 seasons.
No.
So I think there's a lot of value on Montreal. Let's get to some sharp bets.
I hope they win the first game, Montreal, because then we can at least get Tampa at a better price. You know, and
that's why I don't like the Minnesota bet, Joe,
I agree.
because Dallas starts at home. Dallas, if memory serves, Dallas went down last year, I think 2-0, lost both their home games, and then had to come back.
They never win at home, ever. In the playoffs.
I don't know.
Unless it's against the Knights.
Yeah, right. And then they got to win the 7th game, because that's it. It's amazing to me how inefficient they are at home, that team.
Well, let's get into some bets for tonight. Orlando, Philadelphia. We've got Philly at -1.5. There are 2s out there. The total has been bet up to 22-4, 2-2-4. Golden State and the Clippers. Clippers got now 5.5. Total 2-1.5. I can't speak right now. Art, what are the bets for these?
Yeah, like we talked about yesterday, favorite took money in both games, Sixers and Clippers. And, we had talked yesterday, there really wasn't much movement on the totals. But
how much? Wait, Prez, how much are you seeing on Orlando and Philly?
It's -1.5, -2, and 224.
Now
it's 224.5.
224.5 now. Wow, that was quick.
Yeah, it's moved big. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. That's been the big movement as far as anything, as far as side total.
Wow.
That total has really gone up. The Sixer Magic game. I mean, like you said, that thing. I think when we were on air yesterday, it was like 220. 221. I mean, it was in that range. So now you're seeing anywhere from a 4 to 4.5 point movement, depending on which book you're using. So, that's a big move to the over there.
Well, let me ask you, Art, because we saw this 1.5 Philly, and it hasn't moved a lot with the side. So the Embiid not playing was already baked into your line. So it's not like, Embiid, we think Embiid's going to play. We all knew Embiid wasn't playing. But I find it fascinating that the side only went 0.5 point, maybe a point, but that total, that's a huge move for a total with a guy Philadelphia is not the same team offensively without Embiid. They're also not the same team defensively, so I guess we should say that as well. But I'm shocked that that's been that kind of move. Could this be another one of those like Miami-Charlotte where right before tip, it's all of a sudden now back down to 220, 221?
It could be, Joe. That's definitely a good way to look at this, where, we get the tip off and we're like 219. I mean, it definitely could happen, because obviously you saw that yesterday where a total basically was bet up 4 or 5 points and then went back down 4 or 5 points. So, I don't think, when you only have 2 games to work with and these NBA groups want to come out here and bet these games, they'll try to manipulate the lines if they can.
Couple of points, huge too. Huge. A 2 or 3 point swing is huge in these types of games.
Yeah, huge.
Yep.
Art DeCesar joining us from the Westgate. Art, let's just go right through the sharp bets across the board. I'll just hand the mic to you. Basketball, baseball, hockey, tennis, golf, horse racing, crochet, whatever you want.
All right, baseball today, you got Twins money, you got Reds money, both sharp action. NHL, I'd mentioned Rangers and Red Wings, saw big moves there, definitely sharp money there. But, at this point, you've probably missed the numbers. And I would say just in the NBA, as we had mentioned, obviously, right now, the sharp money and the market money is moving towards that over in the Orlando and Philly game. Listen, with money early from our openers on both favorites, we'll need one of the dogs to not cover or lose outright like we did last night for us to have a good night in the NBA.
I got to tell you, I'm looking. You said Twins and Reds?
Yeah.
Well, I get the Twins because Boston can't hit water if they fell out of a boat right now. But the Reds is interesting too, because they're still a dog here this morning, it looks like, against the Giants. So, but all right, I got a little red love going on here. You know how many 2-1 games we had last night, Art, in Major League Baseball? I think we had 4 or 5 that were all 2-1, including Texas and the Athletics out there in Sacramento here. But are you getting any Ohtani love this morning or no?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you always get Ohtani love. You always get Dodger love. I told you every game we book on the Dodgers, you're always fighting their run line. A lot of times too, you're fighting their team total.
Yep.
That happens a lot too. And obviously they only scored 2 runs yesterday and did cover the run line, winning 2-1. But that seems to be the thing. Obviously Dodger money line, $2, $2.50, whatever the number is going to be for that day, is always put into the parlays. But when people really want to come in and bet the Dodgers and put serious money down on the Dodgers,
Yep.
they're either laying the 1.5, or like I said, we started to see this a lot last year and in the beginning of the year as well. They take the team total.
Totals, huh?
They say, what's the team total? And they bet the Dodgers over. So you see that happen a lot.
Looks like Toronto has seen a lot of money today. Are you guys seeing that at Westgate as well?
Yeah.
Cease on the mound, minus 112. We've got minus 129 out there. And same with the Padres. That looks like it's moved 30 cents as
That
well.
flipped. That flipped.
Yeah, Mariners were a slight favorite for us, and small favorite, overnight. And you're right, with Cease, and Joe and I were talking before we came on air, that Brewer team, man, I don't know. They're struggling. Yelich now on the DL. And yeah, I mean, anytime you have basically the ace of a team going in Cease, teams like that are going to see money, even if they're on the road.
Yeah.
Let's keep the show moving. Parlay of the day. Let me start, guys. Look, there's only one meaningful game going tonight, and that's Vegas hosting Seattle. The line is huge. It's minus 276 as the lowest, all the way up to 305 at some books. I'm taking this game in regulation. Now, I know it's huge juice. I'm paying 180, minus 180 on the Vegas Golden Knights. I don't care. I think they win this game going away. Seattle doesn't show up, and this is a huge game for Vegas. They want that home ice advantage. They want to win the division. They want the wild card team. I think we get Vegas at their best tonight, and I don't think Seattle shows up. So Vegas minus 180. Art?
I like it. Those 60-minute bets these last couple of days have been money in the NHL when you can target a team to go against. I never take an NBA game, but I'm going to do it tonight. Give me the Sixers on the money line. This is more anti-Orlando, so I like the Sixers.
Joe?
This is tough here. I am going to go with Atlanta here and Bryce Elder over Paddock and Miami here. I don't get it, but Bryce Elder, he's been pitching out of his mind. I mean, what a difference a year makes, because he has been lights out and unhittable so far this year for Atlanta. And Paddock, we all know, is a gas can. I mean, he's going to throw batting practice. Who are we kidding? I think Atlanta bounces and gets it done here.
Well, I will say this. If that gentleman, the pitcher for Atlanta, if he was a Mormon going on a mission, he would be Elder.
That's correct. Mr. Elder. That's correct.
Elder.
That's correct.
He would be Elder.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep.
Okay. Aren't you hanging for the predictive market segment?
Absolutely.
Well, I missed Bitcoin yesterday. It did go up, but we missed the timing of it. It's now 73.9. It was down to 73.68 not a few minutes ago. Where are we at with that, Joe?
73,980 is what it looks like currently here. So just under 74 there, Prez. So are we thinking 74 or above? Is it going to go down, or 74.5? What do you think?
We're going with under 74,000, Joe. I think we see it hover around the 73.5 mark. So I'm going with under 74,000.
Under 74,000. Yeah. Okay, so under 7, right about even money. So you are you're good as far as that goes there, Prez. And you guys actually locked, as a matter of fact, let me get that in there right now as we're speaking.
Now, where are we at with Ottawa making the Stanley Cup Finals? I don't think they win. But the East is so wide open.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody is a favorite in the East. I don't care about Tampa Bay's pedigree. We know Carolina can't get to the finals. They've shown us that 10 years straight. Where's Ottawa to make the Cup Finals? Because
Well,
I
let's go
think
one
that's-
step further. Obviously, they make the Cup Finals, they win the Eastern Conference, right?
Yeah.
So 11%.
Cents.
Yep, they're
Put
at
me-
11 cents.
I'll take that bet. Put me down for Ottawa, 11% to make the conference finals. Frankly, they win the first game. That's at 16%.
You look at, but there is not a lot, Art. I mean, them and Buffalo right around the same price, and then Carolina and Tampa. But even Carolina and Tampa don't feel like any sort of runaway here with the East. Is it that wide open?
Where's Montreal on there, Joe?
Yeah, that's a good question too. So let's see here where Montreal is. I had to go. There they are. 7 cents.
I'll take Montreal and Ottawa, both.
Both. So you're taking the field over Carolina and Tampa.
Well, I mean, sure.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean, right?
Why not? Well, I mean,
Boston can't make it?
No.
You're not buying it?
No.
Neither of you said Buffalo. I find that fascinating, Art.
Oh no, I love Buffalo. I've been
okay.
on Buffalo. I think we've talked about Buffalo on this show for 2 months. I mean,
yes.
I think Buffalo, and listen, all the value has, dissipated on Buffalo, but I'll say this, and Prez made a great point with these, take Montreal in a series. I think the East is going to be that first round where a couple of these dogs probably hit, so you might make some money betting some of these dogs in the first round where, like you said, whether it's Montreal or whoever you want to pick, where there's going to be value on some of these dogs. And, it's a great point that you guys make when these dogs are on the road, maybe even wait for them to lose game one, you get a better price. There's so many ways you can go betting these series. You can, like I said, you can attack it from the exact standpoint. Think a team maybe wins in 6 or wins in 7. I know that's a little bit more difficult. You could do games, over under games. So there's just so many ways to go about it. But I'm with you, Prez. East is wide open. I have loved Buffalo for 2 months. I have a Buffalo ticket on them to win the East. So I'm going to ride with Buffalo. I think they're going to come out and go to the Cup.
Art, look, I'm looking at these numbers and I'm thinking, man, take all three.
Yeah.
Take Buffalo, take Ottawa. Look, 2 of them get through. You've doubled your money.
Oh.
One of them gets through.
Absolutely.
One of them gets through 2 series and you've doubled your money. So I think you could take all 3 of those bets.
So it sounds like the East is much more up in the air where the value can be. So then the question is, what's your finals? Is it Carolina, Colorado? Is it? I mean, if you're talking Ottawa, right? I think Carolina, Vegas getting money is fantastic here right now. But what's the matchup here, guys? Where are we looking?
I'm not going to buy into what Carolina is doing. They've just got horrible goaltending. It's been unbelievably inconsistent the whole way through. We've seen this team fall apart on a regular basis, year in, year out. And we see that they struggle to score in the playoffs. As far as the West goes, I think Colorado is light years ahead of everybody. But I think the value is on Vegas.
It's amazing, right? I mean, what do we got? 7 and 8 cents there for Vegas to be. Yeah. I think Washington. Anybody who bet Washington, Vegas should be checked. But you don't think so? Edmonton also still getting some love in this market.
I just don't see the goaltending in Edmonton. I think the team is just too top heavy. It's just one of those situations which is indicative of what's happening to Canadian teams. You got the best player in the world and still no free agents of substance want to sign there.
I was looking for where Minnesota was going to be here, and there it is, Tampa, Minnesota, and there's your Ottawa team.
Tampa, yep. Minnesota, 5%. I mean, come on, Colorado is just a juggernaut. It's so tough to stand in front of them right now.
Wow. So, all right. So you think it's Colorado and then just pick anybody in the East, except for basically Carolina, which is even at 17 cents, though. That's not a bad one.
Yeah, but I wouldn't make this bet. I would rather take those 3 going into the finals and then look to take a finals winner, a finals visitor from the West. I'm not interested in trying to figure out the exact matchup.
So what would the Western Conference Finals look like then? Who is it? Colorado and
Colorado, Vegas.
That's it. Colorado, Vegas coming at it, right?
That's why Prez is right. The value's on Vegas because if they win their division, now they're in that little Pacific bottom where they're going to play the Ducks and the Kings and the Oilers. And,
they'll
we always
play
talk about these.
They'll play Utah first.
Right.
And they
if they win their division. They'll beat
they
Utah.
will win. They will win their division, Art. All they got to do is win tonight.
Of course.
They win tonight. They got Utah first up. The matchup against Utah for Vegas is great. Similar team, similar speed. One team is better than the other. So, I think and remember, Dallas has to beat Minnesota and Colorado. Colorado gets the Kings. That's a way worse matchup than Vegas gets.
Look at those prices. I mean, Colorado's basically 38 cents, and they've got Vegas, Dallas, Edmonton, kind of all priced in that same category. So that's almost crazy. I mean, at almost 40 cents already, and they haven't dropped the puck yet in one playoff.
Nope.
Anybody can get hurt. Like, anything is possible here. That's just crazy. They put Edmonton, the Knights, and Dallas all in that same bucket right there. And I don't think those three teams are in the same bucket, quite honestly. Not with goaltending.
No, we're all on the same page.
Tortorella has, whether he's an asshole or not, he's done his thing. They're 6-0-1. He's rejuvenated the team. He realizes Aiden Hill's not a goalie. Get rid of that guy.
Right.
Play what you got to play. I mean, I think it's set up for the Knights. Like, if the Knights don't make the Western Conference Finals, that's a bad job out of them. I know they've had a weird year, but just feels like it's set up for them to be in the conference finals.
Well, if they are, that 15 cents that you're getting right now is what would that line be, Prez? What would it be? So Vegas, Colorado's what? A $2 favorite to win the series? What are they?
No. Well, firstly, let's see. Vegas might sweep two before they meet them. But I would say around a 180, a 170.
All right, so you would not like what Tampa and Montreal is priced at now. You don't think
that's the most that is the single most shocking line out there. I mean, I can't even understand that. That line doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
I mean, Colorado wouldn't be that high just because as great as Colorado is, the Knights at least have some pedigree.
Yeah.
They have some championship pedigree. So,
15 cents turns into 40 cents real quick. 35, 40 cents real quick.
Yeah, but Colorado would be a nice favorite.
You just need them to get there. That's all. If it's Vegas, Colorado in the Western Conference, that 15 cents turns into 30, 35 in a heartbeat.
That's why I love that 15% bet. That's phenomenal. Guys, we got to keep the show moving.
Yep.
Art, what do you got to promote?
Oh, listen, guys, obviously, I think Friday will be the big show where we really break down all these NHL series prices because we'll have the full matchups. We'll have everything, NBA as well. We'll just continue to rock and roll with all this playoff stuff. And, obviously I'll see you boys tomorrow.
There we go. Art to Caesar, everyone. Thanks for doing this. Joe, lots of shows still to come. We got some business to take care of and all of the rundowns plus our mailbag section. Joe, I got a total up tonight in the NBA. This is a must-bet play for me. We did it last night. We won again. We're now on a huge totals run. 5-1 our last 6, 13-4 our last 17. Over 62% in all sport totals since December 1st. Really seeing it well. My NBA is outstanding as well. We've spoke about that yesterday. Over 62% in playoffs over the last 3 years. 1-0 already this season. I've got a really strong NBA bet up tonight. I also got an NHL play. I gave it to you guys already, and I have one baseball bet. What do you got going, brother?
We are locked in, Prez, 2 Major League Baseball top plays, 1 NBA locked, loaded, 1 package over at WagerTalk.com. Let's go get it here tonight.
Let's do it. Okay, NBA rundown, my brother. You're up, then I'll do NHL, MLB, and then we'll do a quick mailbag section. Let's get to it.
All right, well, let's go. 2 games here tonight. You guys obviously know the Magic Sixers, and we'll start there with that one. And listen, this total continuing to rise. I get why it's rising here, and it's because as they're not as good offensively, Philadelphia, without Embiid, but they're also much worse defensively without Embiid. And the problem here lies with the fact that without him, Drummond is not going to replace him or protect the rim in the paint from Franz Wagner or Boncaro when they get down and going downhill. Orlando should dominate the interior, which is a problem here for Philadelphia. Philadelphia needs to get turnovers. Philadelphia needs to get out in transition, and they need to get Maxey downhill. The problem, I don't know if they're going to do it. Both of these offenses have been way too inconsistent for me to think that a 4-point move is warranted in this game. I think Orlando has the size. I think Boncaro and Wagner are going to punish Edgecombe and Maxey. They got a huge size advantage there. I think Orlando's going to dictate the pace. Don't forget, Orlando loves getting to the foul line, which is, they're one of the best teams at shooting free throws every game. Why? Because they're big, they're physical, and they get the whistles. If the whistles go their way tonight, then Philadelphia is in trouble in a big way. But I still think the under at this point, 224 and a half, is the better look. And Golden State and the Clippers, to me, is a in-game bet, guys. You've got to see what Golden State looks like with those non-Steph Curry minutes, since he's going to be on a pitch clock here. If it don't look like they can score consistently without Steph Curry on the floor, there is no way that I can bet Golden State, and I am going to look at the Clippers here in a big, big way. So hopefully I can get it better than 5.5 in-game, Prez, and that's what I'm looking at in that one.
Joe, NHL is really hard right now. I mean, full disclosure, don't bet anything except Vegas in regulation. Dallas playing Buffalo tonight. I mean, neither of these teams give a shit about this game. Just take the over. I mean, I'm going to stick with the overs, even though I was wrong yesterday. Tampa Bay playing the Rangers. I got to look at the Rangers here. Plus 150 dog. Tampa Bay, they got nothing to play for. I'd be surprised if anybody even plays. Florida, Detroit. I'm going to take the dog. I mean, why not? Neither of these teams give a shit. And Florida looks like they don't care about their draft positioning because they've been winning of late. So might as well just take Florida plus 140. Detroit wants the season over with. Toronto playing Ottawa. I would take the under in this game. I don't know who's playing. I don't know who's going to score. San Jose, Chicago. I would take San Jose here. I think they want to end the season well. I think the San Jose team was happy with how the season went, even though they missed out on the playoffs. Minus 125, take them. And obviously, I like Vegas the most in regulation or on the puck line. I think we're going to see like a 4-1, 5-1 type game. Joe, MLB rundown, all yours.
All right. Well, we got 3 games starting this afternoon, so we'll go to the evening games here. And I believe first game up there is going to be Philadelphia taking on the Cubs. Cubs bounced back yesterday, get one back. Imanaga against Luzardo for this one at Citizens Bank Park, and I like Philadelphia and the bats to get to Imanaga. I think Luzardo there has had some tough luck here in a couple of starts here, but I think he's poised to bounce back in this one against that Cubs lineup here. How about the Royals and the Tigers? Can we just bet an under and call it a day here? Another 2-1 game last night. The Royals just can't score runs. Flaherty on the mound for Detroit. Lugo for Kansas City feels like an under once again to me in that spot there. And you heard Art say the Reds are getting love in the marketplace against the Giants. Louder going up against Molly. And listen, Molly's 0-2, but he's actually pitched pretty darn well. He's another guy I think's got some positive regression coming here. 9 is the number. They just played to a 2-1 game yesterday. Don't trust either lineup. I'll be looking at an under in that spot there. The Pirates and the Nats and Irwin versus Montgomery. Just give me the over there. And speaking of over, guys, no bigger move right now than what's going on with the Yankees and the Angels. Louis Heel versus Konkakowicz here. And yeah, Louis Hill's not been the same pitcher since he got injured about a year and a half ago. And the numbers bear that out. The wind is blowing dead out on a warm night in the Bronx. Expect some runs there. I think the Rays handle the White Sox again. I told you I like the Braves to get it done. Like the Blue Jays to get it done. I think the Astros crush the Rockies. I think the Mariners get it done against the Padres. And the Athletics should handle the Rangers tonight.
Okay, there we go. Let's get into some mailbag section. OH SAG 12.
Ooh, SAG.
She writes, Prez, women like me do watch your show, and she's bought my plays before. Come on, man. You gotta be above repeating bad jokes like that loser who said it first. Yeah, that was my chauvinist joke yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. But I'm appreciative of you, OH. And I love politically incorrect jokes. They're my favorite kind of jokes. And basically, they get people talking. So, yeah, I'm a girl dad. I consider myself a feminist, but I am definitely not immune to funny, politically incorrect jokes. With that said, lots of love, OH. Thank you for being a loyal listener and a loyal customer.
Yes.
Matt writes, Alcatraz isn't substantially better. Sinner just whooped him Sunday. So, Joe, let me ask you a question here. He thinks they're about 50-50. Now, they have won close to the same amount of events.
Correct.
Tournaments. Alcaraz has 7 majors. Sinner has 4.
Yep.
Now, I consider that the only thing that matters. Where are you with this? Does it matter how many regular season games a team wins, or is it only about the the majors? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, no, listen, I mean, it's on any given day, right, Prez? We all know that. But it would just appear at this point in time, Alcaraz, it's very, I would not bet against him in a major on a random,
no chance.
Random week. No, but we're talking about majors here, Wimbledon and the French and the U.S. I'm not betting against Alcaraz. I'm not.
And I want to say for the record, and we saw this with the big 6, Murray, Novak, Federer, Sampras, Agassi, and Nadal. Those guys don't win Indian Wells and all these other tournaments. They win majors.
Correct.
Scotty Scheffler does not win every second golf tournament. He wins majors.
Yeah.
Brian Kin writes, Bitcoin was wrong. I was wrong on Bitcoin 5 o'clock like yesterday. Yeah.
Not by much, though. I don't think not by much. Yeah.
I'm going to be wrong. Benjamin, best show on WagerTalk. Jay Real, love the show. Prez is comedian. Bill Robinson, great job. Anthony, art and the books are cleaning up. That makes Anthony so happy. Total sarcasm, and we agree with you, Anthony.
So low.
Martha, the BTC Lightning Network is the future. Yeah, fair enough. Another reason to put 2 to 3 to 5% of your net worth in Bitcoin. Another reason. And David Takari, awesome show, guys. We appreciate it. Well, we appreciate all you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, and make sure to comment. What is this? How are we gonna? What one is this?
Just to give that guy's point here. Will any man other than Alcaraz or Sinner win a Grand Slam this year? It's almost 50-50, Prez, and I can't imagine anybody else winning than these two guys here. I can't even imagine it. But yes, it's obviously those two are bust, I think, in most tournaments.
I mean, listen, Fritz and Shelton at their best can make a run.
Right.
The question ultimately will be, do you have to beat both to win? If you have to beat both Sinner and Alcaraz, which is unlikely because they'll likely be in separate brackets.
Correct.
But if you got to get through both of them, no chance whatsoever.
Yep. Nope.
Well, either way, no, you're going to have to get through both of them because you're going to have to beat one in one bracket and one in the other bracket to win it all.
Yeah.
That's tough, bro. That
Not
is
gonna
tough.
happen.
But I'll tell you, man, Ben Shelton is a guy to watch moving forward. This is an incredible tennis player. And, look, tennis is one of those sports, like, Sergio Garcia was stuck in the Tiger Woods era. And, Michael Chang was stuck in the Sampras era and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
All of these, Shelton, Fritz, Felix and the rest of them, they're just stuck in the wrong era. But if they were 20 years ago, it would have been the same damn thing anyway. So that's tennis.
Always has been. Yep. Women's side as well. Yep. So true.
Yeah. Okay, brother. Great show.
Boom.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Be good.